Hey everybody, this is Mark Goodman, Executive Director of FD Chaplain Services Incorporated, located in sunny Southwest Florida. Welcome to another episode of our program, Reaching In, Reaching Out, which has all things fire chaplain. We will be discussing all aspects of the fire chaplaincy. Today is episode number 3, The Role of the Chaplain, Part 3. Again, my name is Mark Goodman, and I will be your host, and I would invite you to grab a journal or a notepad, grab your pen, maybe even a cup of coffee, and let's get ready to study the fire chaplaincy. So let's get started today. Hey everybody, it's good to see you again, and welcome to Reaching In, Reaching Out, the program provided to you by FD Chaplain Services, Inc., of which I am the Executive Director. I have 35 plus years in the fire service, retired fire marshal from Bonita Springs Fire Department, and now I serve Estero Fire Department, San Carlos, South Trail, Lehigh Acres, and Sanibel Island as their fire chaplain. And I am so glad to be with you today. This is our third installment, episode 3, The Role of the Chaplain, part 3. And in previous episodes, we've looked at the authority of the chaplain, where that comes from, who a chaplain serves. We know that we serve the fire chief, we serve our community, and we represent God as well. We talked about the different aspects of fire chaplaincy, the different ministries that are involved, whether it be crisis victim ministry or on-scene ministry or just to the fire service personnel, and the myriad of functions of a fire chaplain, illustrative tasks that you might be asked to do as a fire chaplain, performing weddings, performing funerals, maybe a prayer at a meeting, or offering a blessing of a fire apparatus that's being placed into service, maybe visiting a hospital to see a firefighter or a family member that is not doing well in the hospital. So many different things that a fire chaplain does. So wanted to continue the conversation today. Before I do that, I just want to let you know a little bit about the social media presence of FD Chaplain Services. We of course have this YouTube channel and the program Reaching In, Reaching Out, which is the motto of FD Chaplain Services. We're reaching in to those that might be struggling, and we're reaching out to those that may need our help. So we have a Facebook page, FD Chaplain Services Facebook page, and we're actually using that as a platform for encouraging one another, lifting up chaplains, praying for each other, and using it as a platform for education as well. What are you doing in your area that is working? Maybe something that's not working. Maybe you have a prayer request that you would like to put up. So find the Facebook FD Chaplain Services Facebook page, and we'll utilize that. I have, let me put it up here. My email is chaplainfd@gmail.com, chaplainfd@gmail.com. So you can get a hold of me there. You can call me or text me at 239-405-1737. And there's a website as well, fdchaplainservices.com. And there you'll find information on upcoming trainings. I've trained 99 chaplains so far. The next chaplain in my class is going to be number 100. So trained 99 chaplains. I'm a master chaplain and an instructor 3 with the Federation of Fire Chaplains, located out of Texas. So I am teaching the Essentials of Fire Chaplaincy. It's a 2-day, 16-hour course. I've taught it all over Florida and reached up into Pennsylvania. Last August I taught at the Lebanon County Fire Training Academy. Going to be there again this August, provided we're done and over with all this COVID-19 coronavirus get that past us so that we can get some training going again, face-to-face training. So I'm looking forward to being up there again in August. And let's see. Oh, another exciting thing that we're doing. We have a National Fire Chaplain Zoom meeting every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I would invite you, if you're a chaplain, to be involved with that. Again, it's all about relationship. We're getting to know each other, and we're helping each other. We're finding out what's working, what's not working, especially in these times here with the coronavirus and how that's modified our operations and our tactics and our PPE, the personal protective equipment, whether we're masking up or whether we're doing gloves or both, and social distancing, and we're even social distancing within the firehouse itself. So it's a big deal. It's an important deal, and we're doing that. We have to understand as fire chaplains how we work within those constraints as well. So Zoom on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. If you will private message me on Facebook, and I have my own personal Facebook for Mark Goodman. FD Chaplain Services has a Facebook. I'm on Twitter at Mark T. Goodman is my handle for Twitter. Just contact me. You can call me, text me, and I will give you the meeting room ID number in that format. We just say, you know what, you can invite anyone you would like to as well. We just don't want to put the meeting room ID up on social media because there's bad characters that are trying to get into meetings, and we just don't want to have to deal with that. So for security reasons, keep that meeting room ID to yourself and other chaplains that you know. And you know what? That is very relational and very informative. The other week we had Jimmy Duncan, the executive director of the Federation of Fire Chaplains, and Jim Cook, the president of the Federation of Fire Chaplains. Mark Akers, a Houston firefighter, is the secretary treasurer of the Federation of Fire Chaplains. They were in with us and sharing their wisdom and knowledge. And several weeks ago, we had Alex Trinchet from Miami-Dade. He's the lead fire chaplain for Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and he shared with us some of their experiences down there in Miami-Dade. So we're learning a lot. We're learning a lot, so I would really encourage you to be a part of that Zoom Fire Chaplains meeting on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. So, all right, that's enough with the commercials, and excuse me, want to get into today's subject, which we're still talking about the role of the chaplain. And we're going to talk about all aspects of fire chaplaincy and who the chaplain is, what he does, how he does it, our operations, crisis victim ministry, the 5 P's of fire chaplaincy. But today I just want to take a few minutes, and it's definitely going to be shorter than the last episode. I'm a preacher too, and I got a little carried away. It went 40 minutes, still all good information, but I'd like to keep these to about 20-minute bite-sized nuggets where you can just jot some things down and listen to them, re-listen to them, and just put it into your lexicon of fire chaplaincy. So you'll hear us talk often about a ministry of presence. A ministry of presence, and it's just being there. So, but again, it's much more than just being there. We can be there actively, and we can be there passively. So just a few things to jot down, to think about in this ministry of presence, because you are the chaplain. You're the one who is bringing the gift of hope into a hopeless situation. You're the one that's bringing the peace into the storm, into the chaos. You have the Prince of Peace, so we are to give peace. So we're the ones that are going to bring peace into a chaotic situation, or a seeming chaotic situation. And it has to do with presence, actually showing up and being there. And the first one I would say is be aware. Be aware of your surroundings. The fire service folks, they call it situational awareness, understanding what's going on around you and what needs to happen and what should happen, and maybe things aren't happening the way they should be. So be aware. I'd say be aware on your way to a scene, whether you're responding to a motor vehicle crash, a pediatric drowning, or a house fire. You have to be aware, because you know what, we get excited too when we're on the way. So we're obviously driving defensively. We're driving non-emergency. That incident's still going to be there when you get there. And again, we can't help anybody if we're not getting there ourselves. So be careful driving to a scene. Have your head on a swivel. Pay attention. Obey all the traffic signals. Yeah, you might hit a red light and you want to get through as quickly as you can, but safety first. Safety first. Obey all the traffic laws in your area. Now, once you get to the scene, again, you have to be aware. And that's why we talked the last time about understanding a little bit about fire department operations. Where are their engines going to park? Where's the truck going to park? Where's the ambulance going to park? Where's law enforcement? All those different agencies that are more important than you right then are coming onto that scene, and they're going to be there. And again, we want to be an asset to the agencies that we serve. We don't want to be a liability. So we have to know, maybe we need to park a quarter of a mile away and walk in. We just want to make sure that we're not hindering whatever operation's going on, whether it's a medical call or a motor vehicle accident or a house fire. And just be aware of what's going on around you. Be aware to make sure that you're parking where you need to be. Be aware on scene if it's a medical call, if there's sharps, if there's needles, if there's bloodborne pathogens, if it's time, we're in this coronavirus pandemic. Make sure you have your appropriate PPE that's been issued to you by the department. Or if you're riding along on the fire engine and you get out, make sure that you have adequate gloves on, that you have your face mask on. Make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. And that's a part of that being aware of all times. The next thing I'd say is to be thoughtful. Be thoughtful. Make sure that your demeanor as you walk into a situation is appropriate. You may be just, got called away from a birthday party, and it's happy and laughs and smiles and joking, and you're walking into a scene where someone has just died, or maybe they're doing CPR on somebody. We just need to make sure that we're thoughtful as we're going in, that we're entering with an attitude of recognition of what's going on or what may be about to happen. And so we want to be thoughtful. If I can back up again on that, be aware. If you walk into a situation where maybe they're doing CPR on a man or a woman, and you're with the spouse, and you're trying to offer comfort and consolation as they're working on it. I would say, look around, be aware of your surroundings there. Do you see religious icons and pictures on the wall? Can you determine if maybe they are of the Christian faith, or the Muslim faith, or the Jewish faith, or some others, so that you might be able to direct them or ask the appropriate questions. Say, hey, I see that maybe you're of the Catholic faith tradition, is that right? Would you like me to get you a priest? Or if you see a menorah or something, and say, I see that you might be of the Jewish faith, would you like me to call a rabbi for you? So again, be aware. And then that's being thoughtful too. That's understanding that you're the chaplain, and you're ministering the best you can. You're providing that care and comfort, but we always want to be thoughtful so that we can hand them off to the next level of care. Whoever that might be. It might be their local pastor. It might be a friend. It might be a neighbor. It might be somebody from a life group or a Bible study that they're involved with. So we want to be thoughtful of our emotions and the emotions of what's going on that scene. And be understanding. Be understanding. You may be the brunt of all the anger and the grief and the emotion of that situation. you walk in and you represent God, and their child has just died, or their husband or their wife might have just died, and they're upset. They're entering that grieving time, and they're in denial, and they're mad, and they say, well, you pray, you bring them back, you pray that God will bring them back. Or maybe you will just they will be so mad at God, and they might be cursing. They may even be cursing God. They'll curse you because you represent God when you walk into that scene. So you need to be understanding to know that those are emotions that are normal in the grieving process, and that they don't know you. I mean, they may know you, but chances are they don't know you. They don't know you from Adam, and you're just the one who walked in the door that they can unload upon. You're the one that represents God. They are going to be mad at God, and they're going to lash out at you. They're going to call you names. You're going to be ugly. They will curse you, and just understand that that's not really them. That's them in this time of grief. So be understanding of all the emotions that may be taking place. Now that's I would give a warning too that you need to protect yourself as well. I've seen teenagers and young adolescents that have a loved one pass away, and they get angry, and they get violent, and they'll punch walls, and they'll tip refrigerators over, and they'll just start smashing things. So we want to be understanding of their emotions, but we want to make sure that we're protected as well. So the next thing, okay, we have be aware, be thoughtful, be understanding. And this next one you can write down is be in the moment. Be there. Give these folks your undivided attention. Whether it's a firefighter in crisis that maybe has a drinking problem, or maybe they're going through a divorce, or about to go through a divorce, and the relationship at home, there's chaos at home, and they want to share that with you. And that's, again, after you've built a relationship up with your fire crews, that they feel comfortable enough that they would come to you with those things, or the innermost things that are hurting in their soul right then. So be in the moment, be there. Don't be distracted. Our phones, they are a big distraction. If we let them, we could let the phone rule our lives, because we're just waiting for that next notification. We're just waiting for that next ding to let us know that somebody has liked our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. And by the way, right now, that's something you need to do. You need to like this YouTube channel. You need to subscribe to it. And it's a shameless commercial for right in the middle here, not being distracted. Do that right now. Don't be distracted. Like this video, share it, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because we're just getting started. There's going to be many episodes coming up that'll be talking all about the fire chaplaincy. But again, be in the moment. If you're distracted, somebody that you're talking to, if you pay more attention to your phone than to them, they will see that, and they will shut down, and they won't share with you the innermost feelings that they're having, the troubles that they're having, the maybe a spiritual crisis that they're experiencing. Maybe they want to talk about a bad call that they were on the shift before. You just don't know. But what I do know is if you give the impression that they don't have your full attention, they're not going to share with you. So it is so vitally important. I'd say next to confidentiality, being in the moment, being there, being empathetic, listening, being a good listener, being an active listener. And I'll have an episode on listening as well, because that's a skill that we're losing because of all the distractions that we have in our lives these days. So we have to be purposeful about that. We have to be focused about that. We have to be intentional about being in the moment and being with somebody in their time of need. So be aware, be thoughtful, be understanding, be in the moment, and finally, just be there. Just be there. There are 100 other things that you could be doing in that moment in time when you're called upon as a fire chaplain to enter into somebody else's life, to enter into their struggle, to enter into their grief, to enter into their whatever you fill in the blank. And you're going to be missing out on something, maybe time with your family, or maybe you had to leave the table before dessert came, or maybe it's a holiday and you're missing a little bit of time with your family on this holiday. But thank you so much for the service that you're providing. Thank you so much for being there. And when you are there, be there. And you know what? You may have opportunity to provide a blanket for somebody. You may have an opportunity on a fire ground to talk to someone who has just had their house burned down or smoked down and lost a lot of stuff. You may be there and able to grab a bottle of water for a firefighter in rehab. You may be asked to go get a tool off the truck if you're spending enough time at the station and they know you know where it is. Maybe they would trust you enough and you've trained with them to help them change out an air bottle on their air pack. There may be all those things that you're there to do and that you're able to do. And then there's going to be other times when the only thing that you can do is stand there in silence, or to sit there in silence with the wife whose husband of 50 years has just died. The crews did everything they possibly could, CPR, shock and epinephrine, drugs, all kinds of everything that they possibly could do, and yet they were unsuccessful. And you're there with that widow now. And what are you going to say? Sometimes there just aren't words to say that are going to bring comfort. Sometimes you're just there to be a shoulder to cry on. There's been many times when I recognized that there wasn't anything that I could say that was going to bring their loved one back or that was going to make the situation better. Everything in me wants to just hug somebody and say, you know what, everything's going to be okay. But I can't, because everything isn't okay. Everything might not be okay from that point forward. And all I can do is be there. Be there to offer that comfort. Be there to be the shoulder to cry on. Be there to cry with them in their hurt, in their agony right then, in their grief. So those are the things right there. And I would say, develop your ministry of presence. Be aware, be thoughtful, be understanding, be in the moment, and just be there. Just be there. Again, I'm putting up the information for myself, fdchaplinservices.com. chaplainfd@gmail.com is the best way to get a hold of me. You can call 24/7. I will answer my phone, or if I'm not available, leave a message for me, or you can text me 239-405-1737. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so if you do go to the website and make a donation of any size, I will send you one of those challenge coins that you see up on the screen there right now. So I want to thank you again for tuning in this week, and I will have another episode up within a week. So this is number 3. So enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for doing what you do, and take care, and may God richly bless you.